Millennium to power millennium. Good morning. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India. On this day, April 17, 2022, Sunday, 3:13 a.m. मैं सूरज सिंह सिविल इंजीनियर भारत इंडिया से बोल रहा हूँ. आज दिनांक अप्रैल 17, 2022 रविवार 3:13. Talk is same, title is same, and that is real quality requirement, coordination engineering, only way and projects works, designs, contracts, reliable engineers, power of communication, concrete specifications, civil engineering, safety, health, environment, and methods and dispute claims. And this is my email sureg_engineer at yahoo.uk. Civil engineering, arbitration engineer, international professional engineer, chartered engineer FI Suraj Singh. This is certification of international professional engineer. This is certification of arbitration engineer certificate. This is chartered engineer certificate. This is quality file. I close certain certificate. I'll open coordination file as well. Coordination engineering file I open. And now about quality file. Quality, every day we talk of quality, and without which nothing can work. It is important. Why stress on quality? That question arises. Why stress on quality? Because without quality nothing works. And that point is very important. Without quality nothing works. That point is really important here. If no quality means no good product. Quality is part of life. It is an integrated part of life. It should be an integrated part of life. Those who do not understand this point, they are not professional people. And those who understand this point, they are respectable, honorable people. I can say that only. Now point arises about quality. Quality, and before that again, I can say we talk of arbitration, that is very important issue. We talk of quality, that is very important issue. We talk of coordination, that's very important issue. And of course, if we say someone is professional, one must be linked to quality and coordination, because without quality and without coordination, profession cannot move in, profession cannot be called. And if there is a difference in approach between various people, among various people, then we have to think of how to resolve that, and that can be through arbitration. Quality is important part and coordination is integrated with that. Without coordinational approach, nothing can be done. That's point of view. That's very, very significant. We have to understand that approach. That approach is not minimal. That approach is very important one. Life is not as we think. Without quality system, without all these, we cannot say anything. It would work or not work. We were talking last time about quality. Quality, we cannot sleep on quality. We cannot sleep on coordination. That is also a big requirement. No one can sleep on that, and those who sleep on that, they keep sleeping forever. Quality is not slave to anyone. Quality is your own decision in engineering or in whatever else in your life. You are a quality person or you are not a quality person, you have to decide yourself. You have to define yourself. quality means quality in every affair. You are character person, you are regular person, you are punctual person, you are intelligent person, you are dedicated to work, you are committed to your promises. All these factors count on quality. And how you do them, how you achieve them, how you perform them, how can you think of that? Issues are there, and that can be called your own ways, and it can be called a kind of coordination to oneself and kind of coordination to others and professional coordination. Reliable coordination, real quality are very important. That point we must understand. Real quality and real coordination are not simply for purpose of statement only. They should be real in a perfect world. Real means achieved quality. So what I achieve because of my own, and how we accept that. Coordination is that we have to provide, it's a pre-step, you can say it's a pre-step of results, pre-step of goods. It is pre-steps of good, which means material content and quality. Material content plus procedure plus quality, and also you can say reliability. These all can be combined, and reliability itself claims or evidences that safety is involved, in that it has been used or it has been inbuilt. Work has been done safely, and whatever work has been done, that is safe for its intended purpose. And also we say service, that product which we produce is worth service. It gives that service for which it was produced, and then it has to perform for long duration or for defined duration, and also that it adds to sustainability, it adds to good environment, it adds to health, or whatever we say. All these miscellaneous factors, and means we don't waste anything. All these points are very significant in quality, and coordination means we have to do that work in time when it is scheduled, or in past ways, that we can do it as better as possible. Whatever we decide, we can accept that it's defined, or you can say this is defined quality of this system, and quality has to be understood in that limit. If we don't understand, we cannot solve our problem, and that is very important point. And you can start my destiny, professional destiny, your destiny, public destiny, nation's destiny is dependent on what level of quality we move, and how we how we use that material, or how we can improve that material or that product. How can we plan it? How can we do it? How can we check it? And how can we act upon our observations? If there exists some deficiency, how to make it up? And of course, in engineering, it is very much important. Quality must be included. If quality does not remain there, it is not, you can say, product is not qualitative. It's then a question mark. We have to establish both domains, that is quality and coordination, permanently in engineering professions and also other walks of life. We must have active quality performance in applications, and that's we say real quality engineering and reliable coordination engineering. Both are interlinked. Without coordination, informations cannot be collected or can be arrived. Coordination means when some information is required, it must be available for reference or for inclusion in our methods. In case it is not available, then we cannot move further. It's like one wheel in a car is broken. Information is broken means whatever our system works there, whatever formula works there, it doesn't work. And that's why information about that formula is a must to be procured from whatever source we think we can get it from. And that point is really wonderful. We have to understand whether we work in designs, we work in manufacturing, we work in construction, we work in wherever we want, it's all must. And we have to fix it in our country. That is our preference, because our country is not very powerful, it's not very strict and quality issues. And if you can't give quality, your product won't be required by anyone. And that's what point is. If you want to be industrialized nation, if you want to value ourselves, we should not think what the others are doing. We should value ourselves and fix ourselves. And now we have to produce quality come what may. And that point is very important. No excuse for whatever required concession. We don't need any concession. Why should I worry about concession? Why? What's the reason behind that? I don't need any concession because I think that quality is a requirement. It's a demand, you can say. It's a kind of instruction by user of that product that quality is a must, though user pays for that, and we should realize that factor also. Quality of works, there can be no compromise. And when there is no compromise, then why we think of compromise? Why should we worry about that? And my statement refers to that. It is not just on papers that quality exists. Quality should exist, not on papers, but it should be built in product that we have, we do. And if we can do that, that's an important point. Without that product quality ascertaining, or you can say if product, we should be sure that product must have that required element of quality that was intended for by designer of that product, or expected by consumer. And that must be in written form, and it must also be indicated or fixed in printing form on that product. It must be there. It's not that we just write something and we don't get that, we don't produce that. Procedures of systems are approved. Every system is approved per requirement of quality system, but that is not enough. That requirement which is given on product must be realistic. Realistic in the sense that honestly it should be done, even more should be done on that rather than what is declared. And that's where we can say are very important issues, and we can say there are many red lines which we do not do, and we have to do them, otherwise it becomes a problem. No, if you try to find where does this whole procedure applicable, how it is done, who does it, what is location, we can see it's being done. Answer is nowhere, nowhere, nowhere. It's unfortunate that we cannot find that. Then we can say existing red lines to be resolved. Various negatives are there, various denials are there, various, you can say, non-existences issues are there, and we must find them in title of red lines. Now these are deficiencies. We have to correct, we have to improve this, we have to set these deficiency rights into working form. And which deficiencies are those? This whatever in red color should be turned green for purpose of quality and efficiency. And that's point we have to be very serious about. And this one says, can we know and apply product when our quality standards complied with international requirements? Rather, I should say, can we work on required coordination bearing activities to achieve defined or expected quality profile on works? Why we should not revisit quality required specifications and update per world working standards requirements? Why should we not apply work relational coordination requirement? Is it not a most reliable solution? Really, we have certainly worsening state of quality of works, and how to improve such mandated works quality to certain minimum required marks, at least to match with minimum international requirements. Should we not force ourselves to work on coordination in each activity, worsening state of quality of concrete, and how to improve such mandated quality to ascertain minimum requirements? Concrete component in construction amounts to major percentage, and I will open now continuance of that file, that is concrete one, so that we can continue where we stopped last time. And concrete is very important one item, we can say it is very important item. In fact it's very important item. And we had gone to some page of hot weather concreting. Okay, we'll back this and hot weather concrete will come again because it's very important. Hot weather concrete, we'll review this again and go back further because it's very important material, hot weather concreting, because we are talking of quality. So concrete component in constructions amount to major percentage of cost, and therefore it becomes incumbent on us to care about quality of such component. It's of course out of common and professional understanding about why do we have no seriousness in this regard. Worsening state of communication and coordination during working for engineering designs and executions or construction activities, determined and dedicated role of engineers towards realizing these requirements, or else quality remains a myth. Can we do it, or we are incompetent, inconsistent societies and communities in engineering? Are we engineering force or incapable? Lord, when we shall awaken ourselves? Shall we transform existing engineering strength into standard quality working force? Who shall decide about all such questions that are being faced? And so all these are issues. Then we have to hear about coordination engineering, and that is reliable coordination engineering projects, public and engineers. And for reliable quality engineering, who works delivery, reliable coordination engineering is a must, and professional engineering not likewise. And we can say missing real coordination means missing good engineering. These questions, communication support for reliable coordination, and that's where we can say we have here. Now we reach to concrete, hot weather concrete. Hot weather concrete. You all know what hot weather concrete. What's that? Let me close some certificates also here. I'll open them again. When mean daily temperature is likely to exceed 25 degrees. It is temperature you can take in morning time, you can take in daytime, and you can take at night time. You take whatever temperature is there, what is mean of that. We can say, for example, now it is 24, say, then in day maybe 40 and 24, 64, and maybe 30 some other time. Then you can sum up these and divide by 3. We'll get whatever temperature. If it's about 25 degrees Celsius, so 25 degrees Celsius provision of hot weather applies, and if it is less than that, hot weather provision won't apply. In hot weather concreting, appropriate measures shall be adopted during transportation of concrete within site, placing on locations, and after placing curing activity, so that quality of concrete is not impaired due to whatever high temperature. It's quite difficult, you can say. It's quite difficult, I may say. It's quite difficult to accurately define in which period of year hot weather concreting should be applied. It is desirable, however, to prepare for hot weather concreting when mean daily temperature exceeds 25 degrees. Because characteristic of hot weather concreting become remarkable if temperature at placing time exceeds 30 degrees Celsius. It says characters of hot weather concrete becomes remarkable if temperature at placing time exceeds 30 degrees Celsius. Measures to be taken in connection with hot weather concrete, it should be implemented well in advance. High temperatures, you can say, let me burn up a little. High temperatures, atmospheric temperatures result in high concrete temperature. Large slump loss during transportation of concrete, as well as loss of entrained air. High temperatures also increase risk of cold joints development. Cracking due to rapid evaporation, loss of water. Cracking due to rapid evaporation of water on concrete surface, thermal cracking, etc. In order to minimize concrete temperature during and after placing, special care should be given to handling materials, mixing, transporting, placing and curing concrete. Desirable that a construction plan be charted out and works be controlled appropriately in due consideration of fact that in a higher than normal temperature environment, work efficiency tends to decline and workers are susceptible to heat stroke. When required concrete temperature cannot be attained, a method for lowering temperature of material shall be determined and its effectiveness verified and advanced. It's a standard requirement that air entrained water reducing agents and superplasticizers used should be should be retardant type mixtures conforming to whatever specification. Temperature of cement upon delivery may be quite high. It depends on shipping conditions, although cement doesn't severely affect temperature of concrete. Uh, Generally plus minus 1%, 1 degrees Celsius in concrete temperature. Use of high temperature cement under hot weather conditions is unfavorable because it raises temperature of concrete. Temperature of aggregate affects temperature of concrete. What temperature of aggregate stone chips you use is, you can say dust or sand use, that temperature affects concrete greatly, because in general plus minus 2 degrees Celsius change in aggregate temperature corresponds to plus minus 1 degrees Celsius in concrete temperature. So use of aggregate exposed to sunlight for extended time is question is when your aggregates lying directly hit by sunlight. That's what it says. Exposed to sunlight, these aggregates for long time, extended period, it may produce a concrete temperature over 40 degrees Celsius. Means hot aggregate, hot sand, hot stone chips or aggregate. Long time these exposed absorb heat, you can say, and then you can say that sunlight for a extended period can impact on concrete temperatures over 40 degrees Celsius. This will cause an increase in unit water content because temperature of concrete heats hard and you need more water. An increased rate of slump will fall. Increased rate of slump loss means slump will be less during transporting, and in an increased rate of settling after concrete placement. This aggregate should be kept away from direct sunlight impact using adequate facilities or kept in an appropriate condition by watering them. In general, we can say purpose of method of watering over areas. We can say method of watering over concrete or coarse aggregate is to lower temperature by means of water evaporation. Method can be made even more effective by directly cooling coarse aggregate by use of cold water. Method of lowering temperature of aggregate by use of liquid nitrogen is also used in some cases because of its latent hydraulic property. Ground granulated blast furnace slag may consolidate. Ground granulated blast furnace slag may consolidate in aggregate storage facilities or storage bins during periods when daily mean temperature facilities or storage bins. During such periods, it's important to avoid long-term storage